Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. So today's video is a very touchy just life experience story that I wanted to share with you guys that has really been something that's just been weighing that I want to talk about. But I'm also really nervous to make this video because I don't want this video to be so rambly. If any of you guys are new to my channel, sometimes when I tend to do experience videos I get kind of rambly. And I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I hope right now, watching this video, you guys grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, because we are just going to be talking, sitting down, and I'm going to get real with you guys about a topic that I really just want to share and get off my chest and just be open. And I hope that this video can help somebody else dealing with this. I don't even know what people classify this as, but we're going to be talking about acid reflux, and I don't know if it's called a disease or illness or I don't really know, but whatever. It's, to me, I feel like it's something that a lot of people just have to live with, and I don't really know if I believe that it ever permanently goes away once you get it. And we're going to talk about what the different reasons on why people can get reflux, and also why I think that it doesn't really go away, and that's just from my experience. And there is, of course, a permanent way to make reflux go away. We're going to be talking about that too. Of course, there are things that we can do to help permanently reduce symptoms completely, but it's like you have to stick to that. And I'm already not making sense, I feel like, but if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I feel like I'm gonna draw in a lot of new people from this video, so welcome. My name is Brandy. This isn't normally like my types of videos that I always do on my channel, but if I ever experience a life event that I feel like is really important to share and want to help somebody, then I'll do these types of videos like this. I mainly do like vlogs, cleaning, cooking, lifestyle, hauls, stuff like that is what I do here on my channel. But if any of that stuff interests you, and I hope that this video can maybe help you, is why you're here today, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you guys join, and also be sure to give me a like on this video if hopefully you guys find it helpful. We will see, but let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to be talking about today, and that is acid reflux. So I also want to say that I have made some previous videos, and if any of you guys have not seen them, I highly recommend you go watch those first. I have made my experience with gastritis and acid reflux. I had acid reflux one other time, for probably the first time in my life, and that was in 2018, and I was dealing with a lot of stress, and I talk about that more in those videos, so like my experience videos. Today is a little bit of an experience video, but we're not going to so much be talking about just full on my experience, but some other things on how to help with reflux, because I feel like that would be more beneficial. But if you guys want to know more about my background, go watch some of my other videos. I've also had an endoscopy done, and I made an experience video talking about that. If that interests you, you definitely should check those out. But I also have a cabbage juicing video. So that one is pretty big, like it blew up on YouTube, and I did not expect that at all. I made that video because I tried cabbage juicing, and it helped me tremendously when I was dealing with stomach problems. We're going to talk about that a little bit too, but I made a little list here so we can get started. But we have, first I put down, like, briefly I'm going to talk about my symptoms with reflux. So all this kind of started for me back in of this year. I had a really bad flare of what I thought was gastritis, and I just assumed that that's what I've been dealing with. So when people have reflux, you really need to figure out what is the cause. Like, what is causing you to have reflux? In my case, I feel like for me personally, a couple different factors. Honestly, it can be a couple different factors that play into it. My main thing was alcohol. Alcohol is just terrible on my gut. For whatever reason, I just can't drink it. And I drank it Guys, I was like a miniature alcoholic probably when I was in my 20s. I drank all the time and I would always get sick. And I noticed that like I would always be the type to throw up or just not feel well after drinking alcohol. You would think that I would have learned my lesson a long time ago, but I just didn't. And I always looked forward to having a drink every now and then. So alcohol just really doesn't work for me. So I no longer drink alcohol. And that was like my biggest contributor to my acid reflux. So I cut that out. You want to find out the root cause of what's causing it for you and then completely eliminate that cause. And that's going to help you tremendously, like be able to deal with it or to get better and feel better. Another big thing for me is like coffee is very acidic. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but more than likely, if you're suffering from acid reflux really bad, drinking coffee is not going to help you. And in some cases, even when you start to feel better, it can just re-flare it back up again. In my case, coffee does that to me. I'm very sensitive to the acidic level of coffee. Like coffee just has a lot of acid. So I switched to decaf, and I've been drinking decaf now for about a month on and off. Like sometimes I don't drink it every day because I'll start to feel a little bit of discomfort in here. So it's better than regular though, I will say that. But another thing for me personally is like I think that it's hereditary. My whole side of my mom's family suffers from acid reflux. So I just think it's in my gene, and I think I was unfortunately unlucky enough to get that from my mom's side of the family, and I think that sometimes it is just hereditary. And then there's so many other facts that can contribute to it, like too much stomach acid, which is what all the doctors will mostly tell you, is that you have too high of stomach acid. I don't believe that that's always the cause, just because I've done my research here, even on the platform of YouTube, and listened to real people talk about their experiences and what they believe, and dietitians as well. I've even worked with a dietitian, and she believes that it's from too little, like you don't have enough stomach acid, is what's causing you to have reflux. And you guys can look that stuff up if you want to go into more details about that. But it makes sense, like once you look it up, and you will like realize like what is actually happening. That acidic acid in your stomach, you're supposed to have like acid in there, okay? So if you don't have enough, the way that I understood it is that you actually have this bad acid in there that's not supposed to be in there, because your stomach is just like forming a lot of gas, and it's unbalanced basically. Your gut is just not right. And it's forming like this nasty gas, and just trying to digest food, but it can't because it doesn't have enough acid. So what's happening is like all that stuff is like bubbling in there, and then these bad gases that we're not supposed to have in our gut, is the way that I am learning from a dietitian, starts coming up, and that is what's causing acid reflux. So that is a theory on low acid reflux, but most doctors, modern medicine that you go to, will tell you that you just have too much. And so what they're going to do is they're going to push an acid blocker on you. And I'm going to talk about that as well. I hope this isn't all over the place, because I feel like it kind of is. But guys, the first thing I just wanted to say is that you need to figure out the main cause of your reflux. You need to start there and try to really figure it out. A lot of people get anxiety. A lot of people stress. Those two things alone can cause acid reflux. So you have to learn how to manage your stress and anxiety if those are your cause. Light exercising, because too much exercising can actually make more acid in your gut and just make your symptoms worse. So when you do have acid reflux, you just need to make sure that you're doing like light, like maybe some yoga or just some light exercises. There's all kind of videos on that. You can go check those out on like what to do, but it's still very important. Like, you can take a walk. It's very important to just stay active as well, but just not overdo it until you get better. And then if you're like one of those people that go hard on cardio or whatever, you can get back into that. But for the time being with acid reflux, it's hard, guys. I just want to also be so relatable and just say that I had a couple of months that were just very depressing, and I felt alone. I could watch everybody else around me eat whatever they wanted to eat, but I couldn't. And that was really hard, because we all love food. I know I love food. I love so much food. And then I'm a chocolate junkie. Like, I love chocolate. So that was another thing that was just really hard for me, and sugary things. I want to just tell you guys, if you are like me and you eat a lot of sugar, that can be a big contributor to your problem as well. Like, you need to cut that sugar out and see if you don't have an automatic difference. I would get really bad like stomach aches, and I would get pains in my stomach as well. And I don't know if that was just from acid or if that was from all the bad food that I was eating. So now we're going to talk about, I'm trying to look on my paper here to see what all I've covered so far. I covered the reasons why you get reflux. I might not have even listed them all because there were so many different things that can cause someone to have reflux. We're going to go ahead and talk about food, because food is what I think is like the number one thing that you need to change. And I think this is going to make the number one difference of your acid reflux is food. You have to eat a very healthy diet, and it worked for me, guys. I also want to come on and say, I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to advise anybody what to do. I am just talking from my own personal experience, and everybody's body is not the same. So all the stuff that I did might not work for you. And I just want you guys to take that into consideration, because I actually hope that some of you guys, though, do benefit from my tips and stuff that we're talking about today. But like I said, everybody's different. So I hope that this is helpful in some way. But I wanted to say, like, if you're experiencing acid reflux, get you an acid reflux book. There are so many books, cookbooks, and there's probably just like, there's so many books out there on acid reflux. There's this guy that I follow on Instagram called the Acid Reflux Guy. You guys should look him up, but he's talking about his experience, and he had what's called silent reflux. So like, I guess that is where you don't really know that you're having it, and it's just silent, but you're having like a lot of other symptoms too, where you're just, he explains it better. So if you guys want to look his story up, he wrote a book about it and how he overcome it and how he got better. So I thought it was a really inspiring story. But this is the one that I bought off Amazon, and I did make some recipes out of here when I was dealing with my acid reflux. And it was also really hard for me, you guys, because I have a little boy and I have a husband, so we're like a family of 3, and I had to learn for the first time to I had to make 2 different meals, and that was like, it was stressful, but honestly, when I started doing it, I just got used to it. And cooking for myself was actually really easy, because I was eating a lot of the same meals, even like maybe the next day, because I would make enough to have leftovers, and then I would eat something that I made the night before for lunch or something, and it was actually really easy to take care of myself. And then I realized that it was really easy to still take care of them too. So it wasn't as hard as it sounds, because I was really overwhelmed at first, realizing that I had to make a bunch of different meals for everybody. Like, it just was a lot until I started doing it, and then realized like it wasn't that bad. So if you do have a family, because like they weren't going to eat the stuff that I was eating. I was eating extremely healthy, lean meats. You want to still make sure you're getting protein and stuff like that. I tried going non-dairy for a little while. I actually really feel like that helped to not eat any dairy. And what else? But yeah, this book, and there's so many other books, but they have a lot of good, simple, like this one has 5 ingredients, but they're pretty good meals. You can tweak them if you want to, like with seasonings. I recommend just trying out different seasonings and seeing what bothers you. You just really have to just kind of try stuff. And it's scary because I've been there. I know what that feels like to like not want to try something because you're afraid of getting reflux if you've gotten it under control for a while and you're like, oh, I don't want to try that because I'm afraid it's going to flare it up. I know all about that, but you really just do have to try stuff. When I first started, because of me having reflux, I was eating like the same stuff over and over that I knew that wouldn't bother me. Like oatmeal never bothered me, but I was eating like plain, you know, just kind of boring oatmeal. For whatever reason in the beginning, like even bananas would kind of, and fruit, it's different types of fruit, like the ones that are acidic, stay away from those. But bananas are supposed to be alkaline, but in the beginning they kind of bothered me. But see, that's like, everybody's different. Like I was having it so bad where almost anything would bother me. So I'm gonna tell you guys what I did to kind of fix that, because what I was doing, I think was another reason why I was having a hard time getting it under control, and that was not spacing my meals out correctly and not eating enough in the day either. So the biggest thing that I can tell you guys with food is to, even the dietitian was like trying to help me figure this out, but she recommended, because the way I was eating, I wasn't really eating enough calories in the day, so like I was losing weight. She recommended me to eat every 2 hours. So that's like, it sounds really excessive, but small meals, guys. You have to make super small meals, like almost snacks. But she gave me like a list of things that would like include like protein, a healthy like fat, and just like vegetables or like whatever, just like healthy stuff, like small snacks. And there's so many videos on YouTube about food recipes and stuff like that that you can look up as well. And there's also some really good ideas on Pinterest too, to get some recipes. And like I said, these cookbooks are super helpful. But just trying to figure out what you can eat, but then just eat like a little bit. So you eat 2 hours, you eat something. And then what I would do, make sure that you're not eating and drinking together. This was a huge thing for me. Like just make sure you're not doing that. You want to make sure you're drinking, like if you're going to have water, have your water, and then you're going to wait a while to eat, because if you don't, it's just going to flare up. And if you're eating, just eat. So you want to make sure that those things are separate. And that was the huge breakthrough for me, just by doing that for like a little while, until then I started to slowly incorporate more food into my diet that I realized that weren't bothering me, and because I kind of had more control over my food and my meal spacing. So I think like once you get that under control, you'll be surprised that you can eat a lot more than what you think you can. Because I think for me, a lot of it was like I was just too afraid to try something, because I was afraid of getting reflux. So if you guys have any questions, you can leave them down below. I'll respond to you guys, because you might have some questions on like some more. If I sat here and talked about food, I'd probably be talking forever. But you want to make sure you're avoiding your things that trigger reflux. That is going to help you so much. Those were things like, for me, cut out alcohol, cut out coffee, chocolate, spicy food was another thing. And I do occasionally like spicy stuff, so it wasn't like a huge thing for me to cut that out. The biggest thing that was so sad to me though was coffee, because I just love coffee and I love the taste of it more than anything. I just love the taste of coffee. So that was really sad and hard. But and alcohol too, like I love to go out with my husband and just get like a drink at a restaurant, but I don't do it anymore because I want to take care of myself and I want to feel better, and I don't want to be having flares anymore or sicknesses. I will tell you guys, since August, I have not had any, well, since after overcoming reflux, which took about 3 months to get to the point where I can pretty much eat normally again. It took about 3 months to get better, but and following like the dietitian's tips and changing my diet and all those things, I haven't had any flares though since I quit drinking alcohol. So, and I feel pretty good most of the time. Like I said, I was telling you guys in the beginning, coffee, I think if I would just have like a cup or two a week, I'd be okay, but to drink it every day, and I only drink 1 cup, but for whatever reason, I'm very sensitive to it. Like I'll start getting like some chest pain in here. It's not like severely painful because I've had it to where it was really painful when my symptoms were really, really bad. And I guess we can talk about my symptoms really quick because a lot of you guys might just want to know what my symptoms were. But I got really bad chest pain. Like that was how my stuff started, really, was like just getting really bad chest pain. And the next thing that happened to me was that I was actually just, like I said, I was eating too much and drinking too much, and it just started coming up into my throat, and then my throat got really sore, which was just so uncomfortable, and it hurt really bad. I never did have it to where I was coughing, because I know some people get it so bad to where they're like coughing. I didn't have it that bad, thankfully, but sometimes I felt like I could feel it go into my nose a little bit, which was like gross, and then my mouth would burn. That was like the first time I've ever experienced like my mouth burning, and there is a mouth burning syndrome. If you look that up, like some people get that, and I thought, is this what I'm experiencing? No, it has to be from acid reflux, and I think that that's what it was, because since I've been able to manage my symptoms, I haven't had any more of the mouth burning. But it was very painful for a little while. Thankfully, I figured out how to do the meal spacing. That was a game changer for me. I even vlogged back in October and November when I was dealing with it the worst. So if you guys want to go back and check out those vlogs, I talk all about like what I was dealing with in that time when I was experiencing, because now I kind of forget on what all happened because it is like February now. So I kind of like had a feeling I would forget a lot. So if you guys want to go back and watch me when I'm like dealing with all that, feel free to. So those were just like a rundown of my symptoms. Now I want to talk about celery juice, because celery juice was a huge game changer. It was incredible. Like my stomach loved celery juice, and like I said, from my own personal experience, I did well with it. There is some people though that it makes people get diarrhea. I've heard different stories like that where people's tried it and they can't drink it, and that's just, everybody's different. For me, it worked wonders with my stomach, and I feel like I was trying to build up my good stomach acid, because that's what you want to come back into your body. There for a long time, because I was on a PPI, which is a proton pump inhibitor that the doctor prescribes you, which is an acid blocker. I was on those for a little while, and I'll talk a little bit about that here at the end of the video. I'm just trying to get through the main stuff that I wanted to tell you guys about from my experience, and then we'll talk about that medicine a little later. But the celery juice really helped bring back my stomach acid, and it was amazing. So I definitely recommend giving it a try. At least try it for 7 days and see if it helps you. I also used celery juice to help wean me off the PPI. So what I did was I took one of those PPIs early in the morning every day, and one morning I just got up and didn't take it, and I did celery juice instead. So when I didn't take the pill, I got severe stomach pain, and this is why a lot of people cannot get off this medicine, is because this medicine is causing you stomach pain from not, your body just gets used to taking it every day, and it helps. The stomach pain, in my experience, because I've been on these things like a couple different times, I know how it works for me. It actually causes me stomach pain. It's like almost like a withdrawal symptom or something for me, but my stomach just will cramp, and it hurts on the sides mainly. And so whenever I would drink the celery juice, it took that away. Whenever I'd keep my stomach full with food, it would keep that pain away. And then as soon as my stomach was empty again, that pain would start again. So I had to keep my stomach constantly something on it for about 7 days. And I juiced celery once a day, 16 ounces on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. If you don't want to start out with that, you can just do 8 ounces because 16 is like a lot. But for me, that's what I did. 16 ounces for 7 days. And the stomach pain from the medicine went away. Like, I was able to fully get off the medication. That's how I did it. That's just from my personal experience. Some people that's taking the pill long term, you have to kind of wean yourself off of that. And there's other videos out there, since that's not what happened to me. Like, I didn't have to wean myself from the medicine because I only took it for 5 weeks. If you take it for like 6 months or longer, I think that's considered long term. So there's a little bit more to it that you need to be doing to get off of it, so you're not hurting yourself or like having really bad withdrawal symptoms, or what am I trying to say? What is that called? Oh, rebound acid. So you don't have rebound acid, because some people get that when they get off of that medicine that's been on it for a long time. They'll have like a rebound effect. That is really bad. And so then what happens is the people start taking the medicine again because they just can't deal with. So it's complicated. But I just want to say that medicine is no good. Unfortunately, there are other ways that you can help yourself. And I know that it's hard. And I think, like, if you want to take the medicine for a little while to help you feel better, you definitely should, because it does help manage symptoms, but that's about all that it does. It doesn't cure you. And then in the long run, it's causing more problems for you, because if your stomach doesn't have stomach acid, that's building foundation in there for just bacteria, because that's what stomach acid does, is that it kills all of our bacteria in our gut. So we don't get like SIBO or any other bacteria diseases in there. And it also helps break down our food. So we need stomach acid. So when doctors give you these pills, they're suppressing your stomach acid. So it's just, yeah, you're going to feel better because it's going to just control your symptoms, but it's not going to make you better in the long run. So you can take the medicine for like temporarily, and then I would recommend just getting off of it, because it's just not good. It's just not good. And I know there are certain people that have different health reasons, and you should always follow your doctor's order, guys. And if you're going to try to get off of medicine, you need to talk to your doctor about it. Just don't stop taking something because somebody else says that they did. Just make sure you run it by a doctor. I have gotten myself off of that medicine at least 3 times total in my life. And I kind of did it, like I said, with cabbage juice was the first time. That was the first time that I kind of got myself off of it. And this time I used celery juice. So juicing is like a huge factoid that will help you. Okay, this video is really long. I apologize, but I knew it was going to be long because there was just a lot that I wanted to say. So we ended up talking about the pill anyways. So I guess we'll just see. I'll just finish talking about that really quick. I didn't really explain to you guys, I think in my previous story of like gastritis, I talked about it a little bit, so I'll just kind of give you guys a little rundown. But back in the end of August, I had the worst flare I've ever had, and I had it so bad that pain was radiating from my stomach all the way into my back, and that was severely painful, and I would get nauseous. I almost threw up a couple times but never did. I thought that I had kidney stones, so I was in the ER because I thought I was having kidney stones. And here to come find out, as soon as I took that acid blocker, the pain subsided. So I knew that it was from gastritis or acid reflux. They kind of were playing a role at the time. And this was not long after I had drank a lot of alcohol, because we had went on vacation. I drank alcohol, and over the summer I had drank a lot of alcohol. So, but I just ended up, and I wasn't eating good at all. Like, I was eating the worst food possible, just constantly wasn't eating nothing healthy. And I mean, I just had, that was like the worst flare I've ever had. I was so scared, you guys. Like, I thought I was gonna bleed out or have an ulcer. I literally thought I had an ulcer, which I think I titled one of my videos as I think I have an ulcer, because I thought I did, until I got an endoscopy done, and that proved that I did not have any ulcers, which was awesome. But my endoscopy result was esophagitis, like very mild, because I was on those pills, like I said, for 5 weeks, and it did help like clear a lot of my stuff up. So like I said, using the pill temporarily is fine. I feel like it can help calm things down in there, and then just try to slowly get off of it. Change your diet, watch what you're eating and drinking, just try to avoid triggers. There is certain scenarios, guys, where some people, it doesn't matter what they eat. I've watched people actually that can't even eat salad because it causes them to have reflux for whatever reason. This one girl I came across could only eat keto. She could only eat keto. That was the only thing that would not give her acid reflux. She had to follow a keto diet. And if she ate anything outside of a keto diet, it would give her reflux. Everybody's different. I don't understand the logic behind that. I don't know why that would happen. But everybody is just different. And then some people tried to go vegan, and then they couldn't be vegan for whatever reason. They still had reflux. Some people just, I don't know. If you can't figure out, if you've done everything and tried everything, there's always an option to get surgery. And they do have a procedure now, which I think is pretty cool. It's called Lynx. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like a magnetic ring. It looks like a ring that they put down across your, I think it's your sphincter that opens and closes. That's what allows food to come up into your throat. And when you swallow, that's like, it opens up and lets food go down into your stomach. It closes. They put it around there. It just kind of like goes around like this. And then it contracts, like, because it's magnetic. So whenever you swallow food, it automatically shuts that up so no acid can come up through. So there is a way to permanently fix it. But I feel like if you're not fixing what's going on in your gut, because a lot of it is from your gut, if you're not fixing what's wrong in there, even if you did get that surgery, I would feel like you still, like, I mean, that would be better than to have reflux for years and expose yourself to cancer, which is also very scary to think about, somebody getting cancer. But you're still not, if you don't fix what's wrong in your gut, you got to try to fix what's going on in there, or else you're probably still going to have stomach issues. Even if you do get that, I feel like you'd still have issues. I don't know. But it's nice to know that if you would, had it so badly and there wasn't nowhere else for you to turn, that they do have the option to do surgery. And I've heard a lot of good things about that surgery, like it's helped a lot of people. All right, so now we're going to pretty much get to the end here. This is a really long video, which I knew it was going to be, but so now I'm just going to talk about like my tips and tricks and things that I think I've covered some of my tips, but some other things that I wanted to mention that's helped me during my time with reflux, other than meal spacing and stuff. And also I got some supplements that I want to share in this video, and take this with like I said, I'm not a doctor, but this is just things that I've tried that I feel like did help me during this time. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you guys the supplements that I took. All right, so I worked with a dietitian. I definitely highly recommend, if you guys, I had to save up a little bit of money before I could go see one because it is a little pricey, but I feel like it's worth it, guys. They focus on like herbal medicines and ways to help you get healthy naturally without using like, medication. So I definitely recommend, if you're looking to get healthy and you want to try out another method besides just using pills that the doctors are giving you that just don't solve your problem. So this other girl here that I found on YouTube, this is kind of how I come across taking these supplements that I wanted to try. You need to be very careful, guys, and you need to let your doctors or your dietitian know what you're taking, so they can help you figure out how much of it to take. And especially because somebody could be allergic to something, even herbal medicine, you have to be very careful with. So make sure you're running that by them before you try any of this stuff. But I found this girl on YouTube called Molly Pleacher. Hope I didn't butcher her last name, but I love watching her videos. She has all kinds of videos on acid reflux, so look her up. I will try to link her down below because I know a lot of you guys would really like her channel. She makes recipe videos. She is also in college right now, so she's like becoming a registered dietitian is what she wants to be. She's a young girl and just has a lot of knowledge about reflux because she has went through it herself, and that's probably what I would say inspired her to be a dietitian. Maybe, I don't know, but she's just very inspiring. And a couple of the supplements that she took was this one right here. This is DGL licorice root. This is the DGL Ultra, so this is a little bit different than just the original, but basically this one is supposed to not have one of the ingredients called glycerin. It says contains less than 1% glycerins to help avoid any potential effect on blood pressure. Guys, licorice can cause some side effects, and it can also mess with your heart. So you want to be careful, like I said, when you're taking stuff like this. But these supplements can be very helpful for people that's had reflux. So that's one that I took. The other one that I took that I also really liked was the slippery elm bark. I don't know if you guys, there we go. She's focusing now. So we got this one. I bought these off of Amazon is where I got these at. Read reviews too before you buy anything. But I also think I used her links down below Molly's video to buy these because I wanted to get the ones that she took because she said they really helped her. So it tells you on the back on how to take them. She actually took more than the recommended amount. I didn't do that because I was too scared to. Like I said, work with a dietitian. They can help you figure that out on how to take supplements if you want to try them. I think the slippery elm's pretty safe, honestly. It's just, I think it's more safe, but this is the one that you really want to watch. It's licorice. It's a little different. And then the dietitian gave me some things. So you guys will notice here in a minute that these is like almost a full bottle because I didn't feel like I personally needed them, and I did notice where they were helping me, so I didn't continue to take them because they were making me kind of gassy and just but some people really need these, and I feel like these are really helpful, especially if you don't have enough stomach acid in your stomach. And I experienced that when I was coming off of those pills. I would try to eat protein and I would get so tired like after I would eat, and I would feel exhausted just after eating protein because my stomach just couldn't digest it. And so I started taking the enzymes. So these are really, really good for people that don't have enough stomach acid and you want to start out trying these, help break down your food. These work awesome. So this is the brand that I got. It's the standard process. I think this is what the dietitian ordered for me, but you can get these offline. I hope this stuff is focusing. I don't really think it is. Hold on a minute. There we go. So this is the one that I took. Like I said, I only took it for like about a month, and then doing the celery juice alone helped me build back up my stomach acid. So eventually I no longer needed to take these because my stomach was doing fine after that, and I finally was able to eat meat again and not feel like exhausted and tired afterwards, which was such an annoying thing. It's normal to get tired sometimes after you eat a big meal, but guys, I was eating like just little things, like, and even fats, because I think protein and fat is like the hardest thing for your body to digest. I was just getting exhausted. It was like so annoying and weird, and I just knew that I didn't have enough stomach acid. So here is what I'm currently, this is actually my second bottle, so I still take these. I had her actually order me this bottle about a month ago, I think, because I ran out and I wanted some more, but these are just a probiotic. I feel like a probiotic is really good for your gut. It can help put all the good gut bacteria back into your body. And if you are the type of person that's been on antibiotics, you, at least for a while, need to take a probiotic when you get off of an antibiotic. And that's also, a regular doctor has told me that. So this is the one that I took that I actually like and I still take right now. This is the only one that I'm still taking right now. I'm not taking any of the other ones anymore. But that's what it looks like. This is a collagen peptide. If you are suffering from gastritis, there was a girl that I was following. This is how I ended up buying this. But she was a gastritis sufferer, and she also had a lot of videos on her channel. Forgive me, guys. If I remember to, whenever I go to do the links on this video, I would try to put her video down for you guys too, because she suffers with gastritis. When I got my endoscopy, I wasn't diagnosed with gastritis. Like, my doctor said I had like very mild, if like hardly nothing, if I had gastritis. But it must have gotten better since taking the medicine, and just, I must not have had gastritis that bad. It was more, I think, acid reflux for me is what like the problem was, like more than gastritis. And I know gastritis is like a lot harder for people to recover from. So I don't know, guys. I just really don't know exactly. I had like a mixture, I think, of both, but I must not have had gastritis as bad. But this collagen peptide stuff is really good for your stomach, and it also has enzymes. You just mix it with, you can mix it with anything, like smoothies, recipes. You just do 1 scoop with water, and I would just do it early in the morning and drink it. You can't even taste it. It's pretty, I don't know. But it's a digestive enzyme blend that breaks down proteins for improved absorption. And people that work out use this too, because it's for it's post-workout and recovery. So, but it has a lot of, it's good stuff, I think, in it. And it's got like acidophilus, lactase, cellulase, amylase, proteins, like stuff that's just good for the gut. So if you want to look into that, it would be another thing to try. My dietitian strongly recommended me to get aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice, I never got to actually try the pure aloe vera. They show you how to make that on here. But I wanted to do it, and I just never did it. But I feel like that was like probably the most effective way to help heal your esophagus, is by using aloe vera juice. So this is the one that my dietitian told me to get, but it's the 100%. You do not want to get the one with citric acid, because I did buy that one and it burned really bad. So do make sure you read the ingredients before you order one of these, if you're going to order it already, you know, in a jug, which I still have some in this one. This was actually my second bottle that I went through, because I just started feeling better and then I just didn't finish it. But it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like water. It's but yeah, they don't have any additives. It was the George's brand. And then if you want to try, like I said, the real stuff, go buy the plant. And they show you how to do that here on YouTube if you guys want to, you know, there's ways to watch on how to do that, because I never did get to try it that way. But I hear that that's the most effective way to like help heal your esophagus and your throat. Because for me, for when I was dealing with it really bad, I just wanted my throat to get better, because it just hurt, you know, and it was really painful. All right. Oops, I'm sorry. So the last things to wrap up our supplements here is some teas that I just wanted to throw in this video. So we got the chamomile, was really helpful for me. Raw honey. Honey was like, honey never did bother me. Like, it might bother some people with reflux, but it never bothered me. Raw honey, I made sure it was like raw, and it was awesome. It was an awesome way to sweeten my food if I needed sweetener, or if I wanted to sweeten my tea. This one doesn't have any caffeine. Make sure you get caffeine free. This one was really good though. I really enjoyed the chamomile tea. And then this was the other one that I really liked. It was the organic ginger aid. You also want to be careful with teas, guys, too, because the last one that I'm going to show you, if you guys have been following me for a long time, then you will know what happened to me back in December that scared me to death. And I had about a week of thinking that I was going to die. And I think this one is really what caused it for me. Plus, coming off my supplements, because I took them for about 8 weeks. The Slippery Elm and the DGL I took for about 8 weeks. And when I stopped taking them, because I actually ran out of one and then I just quit taking the other one too, about a couple days later, plus I also had some of this, which I wasn't drinking a lot of when I first bought it because I didn't like the taste of it. I think I just tried like 1 cup and then I didn't drink it up until that same week. I started having heart palpitations, and I've never had those the way that I was having those. Like, I was having them about every 3rd beat, and it scared me so bad. Like, I thought I was gonna die basically, because I get really health anxiety anyways. It's really big for me. So it landed me in the doctor, of course. Got an EKG and it showed all the palpitations, but like basically they couldn't do anything. I was gonna be set up for like a stress test and all that stuff, and I actually didn't end up going to any of that because they went away they lasted for about 4 days, and then I didn't have them anymore after that, thank God. But it was the scariest 4 days of my life because they were also very just uncomfortable, like the heart palps that were just happening like that. But I think that this tea caused a lot of that because this has got a lot of licorice in it, guys. It also has Slippery Elm, but it has like pure licorice. So this stuff here probably isn't like this here that has 1% glycerin. This has like the full licorice in it. So I think this tea, guys, caused my heart palps too. Because I drank it like also that same time when I stopped taking the supplements. I drank this for like a couple of days, and you just want to be really careful. Like, you would think that you'd have to be careful with tea. Just watch this one. It can be really good. That it's called the throat coat tea, which my dietitian recommended for like a sore throat and all that. I personally don't like the taste of this. I think it's gross. I don't like the taste of you can really taste the licorice, and I just don't like it. And I think that's why I couldn't drink it in the beginning. But I'm really glad that I'm actually going to probably dispose of it, because I just don't want any more of it after having like heart palps. Licorice is just not something that I want to mess with anymore. But that's just me. I think if you just be careful with it, like I said, try it out. It also has a little warning down at the bottom that says like, do not use this product if you have high blood pressure, heart disease, impaired kidney or liver function, or if you're allergic to plants in the parsley family. Not recommended for children under 12 years of age. I mean, it says to consult your healthcare practitioner before you even use this, especially if you have low potassium levels. If you are taking Durex, some other kind of stuff, guys, that I can't even pronounce. Potassium depleting medications. That you got to read like the little, before you take anything, make sure you read the side effects. But it scared me really bad. So I don't know what to say. I feel like it did kind of give like a soothing effect on the throat, but I don't know. I think the aloe vera juice would be a little bit better to help with throat healing. But I wanted to talk about it and tell you guys my experience with it, because I feel like that was important to mention, because it was really scary. So that's it for today's video. Also, a quick tip that I wanted to throw in that I feel like I forgot to mention when I had reflux is at nighttime. A lot of people want to know what you do when they go to bed. I slept on a couple of pillows propped up for a while until the reflux went down for me. I slept propped up, and that made a huge difference. It was kind of hard to get used to it at first, but once I was used to sleeping like that, or you could also sleep in a reclining chair would be my other recommendation if you're having it that bad. You gotta keep yourself propped up so the stuff will not come up in your throat. Do not lay flat. So I'm gonna go. This video was so long. I hope that it made sense, and I hope that it helped you guys. I hope that you enjoyed listening to my story and just some of my tips. And like I said, if I missed anything, or if there's anything you guys have questions about, like food, or just like, basically I ate as healthy as I could. Like, I ate clean for the first time in my life. I ate a lot of like apples. Apples were like my best friend. I ate a lot of apples. Apples didn't bother me. Some almond butter whenever I could tolerate it, because at first I could not tolerate peanut butter or any nut butters at all, but then eventually I was able to have them again. So once I was able to tolerate them again, I could eat my apples with that kind of stuff. And just like, moderation is key, you know, like, just don't overdo it. Another thing for me that I did that I feel like also contributed to a lot of my reflux was that I overate, and eating at nighttime. Those two things alone, don't do that. Try to proportion your meals. Try not to overeat. Don't eat when you're not hungry. And I know that's really hard, because sometimes I just eat out of boredom and I'm not even hungry, I just eat. So I know it's really hard to do, but you really have to try with your diet. I think that's going to be like the #1 thing that's going to help you. Don't drink alcohol. Try not to drink coffee, caffeine, no soda, nothing like that. Just drink water is what I drink, and then my herbal tea. That's just a little rundown, guys, of my experience. I hope that you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope it wasn't too rambly, but I knew this video was going to be long because I had a lot I wanted to say to you guys. I wanted to get a lot out. I hope that for those of you guys that stayed till the end, thank you so much. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I will try to put some links down below for you guys, so you can go check out some of these other people that I follow that were really helpful when I was dealing with acid reflux. So my current status right now is that I no longer have reflux, but I don't think that it'll ever permanently go away. I think that it's just something that, like I said, people just, they have to learn how to live with it. They have to learn how to kind of manage symptoms, and they're always going to have it, because something's always going to, for me, a lot of acidic things, like I said, like a lot of acidic fruits, even some veggies, like certain things, like onions don't really seem to bother me a whole bunch, but I know they can some people. So I try not to eat like a lot of citrusy things, coffee, and when I eat chocolate, I try not to overdo it. I can have some chocolate in moderation, but as soon as I start feeling that chest discomfort, because it's still happening to this day, but I'm not having it like I was. So I can pretty much eat whatever I want to eat, just about. I just have to eat small amounts and just kind of space out my meal, you know. Make sure you're eating like every 3 or 4 hours, because I also kind of learned that your body doesn't like when you go a long period of time without eating. I was a person that really was bad at eating 3 meals a day, so apparently you're not supposed to do that. Apparently you're supposed to eat maybe 4 to 5 meals a day, but they're supposed to be like small meals, or you're supposed to have snacks. You're supposed to have snacks in between your meals, and that was another thing that I never did do. But so like make sure you're eating every 3 to 4 hours at least. And I don't know, I hope that you guys found this helpful. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.